What's up, everybody? This is Rob, and I have just started the broadcast here. You should be seeing something very shortly. And just let me know you can hear me when you type something into the chat. Just say, I can hear you, and I will continue the class. Looks like we have some usual suspects in the chat here. Great, great. You guys can all hear me. Good. All right. So, this is the third part in a three-part series that I have put up here from 2over1, and I just want to show you where you can find everything that we've done so far, and that's right on the homepage of my site, learnbridge.nyc. You just type in www.learnbridge.nyc, and what I have below here are copies of the first two lessons that I've done, the 2over1 lesson and the forcing no trump lesson. Tonight is just going to be about just under 40 quiz questions on 2over1 and 1 no forcing. So don't worry if you haven't seen all the lessons before. You can always run through this again later. Copies of this will be up all over the place, but this is good practice to get you used to playing 2over1, and more importantly, the 1 no trump forcing portion of that. So we're going to jump back to bidbox, and to get to this page that you're looking at right now, you're just going to type in exactly this in your browser: bidbox, bidbox .xyz. If you type that in, you'll get this here, and I'm going to enter this class with one of my email addresses. And when I put that email address in, guys, I'm going to get a copy of the class sent right to me afterwards. So you can continue to go through this for as long as you possibly want and answer the same questions that we're going to do right now. Give you a little bit more practice and a little more feedback going forward. So I'm going to click continue. And you should see a screen right now for those of you that already logged in that says thank you, class will start soon. And soon means right about now. And here we go. So I'm not really going to give you any part of the lesson, but you can kind of go ahead and look at that and what we've done before. But if you do have any questions at all, don't be afraid to type it into the chat and I'll answer them as we go. So we're just starting with a simple hand here. Our partner, who is the north player, you can see the star there, that means that they're the dealer. They've opened one heart and it's gone pass, and it's your call with this hand. All right, one heart pass to you. What's your bid? Yeah, good luck to all the people watching from Florida. I hope I hope the storm veers in a different direction, but it looks kind of scary. Good luck to everybody. All right, and for those of you just dropping in, as usual, if you're attending this lesson live, which is 8 p.m. on August 29th, you can log into bidbox.xyz. Just type that into your browser, and you can make your choices to all these questions right on your device. So it looks like we're crushing this question here. The correct answer is just two clubs. And this would be the correct answer in pretty much any system we're playing. But the good thing about our system now is if we play 2over1 as game forcing, we get to game force right away. Now notice we do have a heart fit, but when we only have three card support, we don't really have a bid that's going to show this usually. There is a conventional bid that you can use, and I'll talk more about that later. But at this point, we're just going to game force. We're going to bid two clubs and see what partner does next. And what partner does next is they bid two diamonds. So they opened a heart, you bid two clubs. Partner bid two diamonds. What are we doing next with this end? All right, we have a number of different answers to this question. The best answer in the long run is just two hearts. However, there's another pretty good answer on the board here that I'll tell you in just a second when I release these results. Two hearts is the most important bid to make after we game force because we haven't shown our partner that we have support for the heart suit just yet. Okay, so in this spot, we are absolutely going to want to show that support. The other bid I was talking about that is actually going to be reasonable as well is four hearts. Right, four hearts would actually show a minimum and three card heart support. Remember, we've already game forced, right? So we've made our game forcing bid by bidding two clubs. Now we just want to show support for the heart suit the best way possible. Now here's what I'll tell you about four hearts. Four hearts is reasonable because it should show this lowest minimum for our bid. But in these cases, when we can show support on the two level, we usually want to do that because think about the hands that partner could have. What if they have a hand that's very strong and they want to continue to pursue slam? If we jump to four hearts, we're kind of chewing up a bunch of bidding room. So if it was a choice between three hearts and four hearts, let's say the partner bid two spades or two no instead, I would always bid four hearts in that spot. Right? I just jumped a game and show partner my minimum. But here, when I have a choice of two, three, or four, I just want to bid two and see if partner's interested. All of the other bids, two no and three spades, are all wrong because we didn't show heart support. That's the key thing. When you game force with three card support, your very next bid should almost always be showing three card support for partner's original major. All right, let's take a look at the next one. And I will wait until YouTube updates. Hi Pam, welcome to the class. And we're on hand number 3, and this time our partner opened a heart and it went past to us. What is our call with this hand? All right, this question, as usual, produced a number of different choices. The only correct choice is one spade. And let's talk about why that is here. When we are considering game forcing or making another bid, the one thing we always want to keep in our mind is we never want to distort our shape in order to make a certain bid. And you can see that most of you, 56%, bid one spade, which is the correct bid, but we had a lot of you bidding two clubs. And two clubs would be right if our clubs were longer than our spades. Especially, let's say we had six clubs and four spades in a game forcing hand, we would always bid two clubs. But here, when they're equal length, we just never bypass our four card spade suit in order to game force because we're distorting our shape. If we bid two clubs and then come back and bid spades later for some reason, our partner's going to think we're more unbalanced than we actually are because they're going to assign more clubs to us. So here, just bid one spade initially. Don't distort your shape, and you don't always have to game force when you have a game forcing bid. There are other ways to do this later. And after you bid a spade, partner now bids two clubs. And now it is your choice as to what to do again. And for those of you watching on YouTube that haven't logged into Bidbox yet, just type in bidbox.xyz on your device in any browser that you're using, and you'll be able to make all these choices with us. But only if it is August 29th, folks. If you're watching this at a later date, you missed the live class, but doesn't mean you still can't make your guess on these. So do the best you can. But here, partner opened a heart, we bid a spade. Partner bid two clubs, and now it is our call. And this is awesome. I have about 13 answers in, and 5 different bids have been made so far. I always pat myself on the back for these questions, trying to trick you guys. This is very cool, guys. We almost everybody that's watching on YouTube is in bid box. That's a first here. Very cool. I will give it a couple more seconds before I release the answer. And only 27% of you have made what I consider the correct answer, and 9% of you hit probably the second best or close to the best bid. The bid I would make is two diamonds. This is that other way to game force when we haven't gone through 2/1. This is fourth suit forcing, folks. And you can go about this in one of two ways. You can bid four hearts, which two of you did. Same general idea that we were talking about before. It shows kind of a minimum game forcing hand with a heart fit. Two diamonds, however, will give us the best of all worlds, and it'll allow us to slow down if we need a little bit more to talk about. And our hand is not necessarily a total minimum, especially considering partner rebid clubs, which means we have two fits and we have ace king fourth of the club suit. That's a pretty decent holding. So here I would be more likely to game force first, but know this: when we game force by bidding two diamonds, which is fourth suit forcing, we want to make sure our next bid is a bid that shows support for hearts. All right, so we haven't shown that yet. Those of you that bid two hearts, which was a pretty big percentage here, you actually showed a bad hand and some hearts. Right, you showed a very minimum-ish type hand and more of like, hey, I'm taking a preference here. So be wary of that. When you're rebidding a suit that's already been bid, you're hardly ever making a forcing bid. So those of you that bid two hearts might end up playing two hearts making five when the rest of the crew is in four hearts, right? So don't forget, you're not the one that opened, so you're the one that has to make sure you get the game. Two ways to do that from this point. Two diamonds is best, four hearts is second best. It's a reasonable bid. I'm always happy if you get the game or slam, especially if you make a simple bid, because honestly, two diamonds can get confusing at times as well. All right, next case. All right, so this time your partner opened a spade and it's your bid. So make your call. This is an interesting hand, and this actually comes from a question that was sent to me on my site. It was something I actually just looked at today. And this is a very good question. What do we do when partner opens a spade and we have this hand? You tell me first. Thank you, Barath. Very nice of you to say. All right, I'm going to give it a couple more seconds here. Most of you have gotten this right, but we have a fair amount of incorrect choices as well. And it's not surprising because this is a true problem hand. And there's actually a conventional bid that I'm going to teach most of you, because it looks like two of you are familiar with this bid from what I'm looking at. But without any conventional agreements, the only correct choice is two clubs. Here's the problem with this hand: we cannot bid two hearts. That would actually show five or more hearts. Big thing to remember. When it goes a spade, two hearts, it's still a game forcing bid, but it always shows five plus hearts. So two clubs is kind of the least of all evils here. We're game forcing still. And this shouldn't be considered to be a terrible thing, because think about this. You should know where you're going to try to play this hand. Most likely spades, with an outside chance of no trump. But here you know you're going to show a spade fit your next round. So it's okay to kind of fudge a little bit with a minor suit. The thing you can never do is fudge with a major. So here, two hearts would be absolutely wrong. There is a very cool bid that a lot of people use here to alleviate problems like this, and it's three no trump. So a lot of people agree that one of a major followed by a direct bid of three no trump just shows a hand like this. It's called a balanced choice of games. So here, By agreement, you can have 3 no trump show specifically this, a kind of a flattish hand with 3 card support in spades. And it gives us the option to sometimes maybe play no trump if the opener's kind of balanced. So there were 2 of you that bid 3 no. If you were thinking that, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Because you've seen this one before. But even if you don't have that agreement, you don't have to have it. You can just accomplish it by game forcing in clubs and showing support for spades later. That's where we're going to steer this auction no matter what. It's a cool hand. And thank you for the question. I can't remember the name of the person who sent it, but if you know who you are if you're watching. All right. Next case. So this time, same auction, same hand. Partner opened a spade, you bid 2 clubs, and now partner bid 2 hearts. Your bid now. Pam, not surprising. She's heard about this bid before. Very cool. Just remember, guys, those bids, you can't whip them out without talking to your partner first, right? So if you've heard this here and you don't tell your partner about it before you start playing again, you might get some weird looks across the table. So make sure anytime I say it's by agreement, it means you and your partner have to have discussed this prior. Without discussion, I would just normally game force and bid some spades. I had a very funny episode with 2 of my students here in New York. One of them, to her credit, read a very good book on defense, but it included upside down count and attitude and Rousseau leads, which is totally different from standard. So one session, she was playing that carding the entire session and never told her partner. So it created quite a bit of confusion, if you can imagine. So always discuss what you're playing. So this one, these are some good questions here because we have lots of different answers. The best answer, as we see it right now, is 3 hearts. And I'm going to show you the results here. It's amazing. We have lots of different choices that people made with this hand. 2 spades would be showing 3 card spade support, and that's almost always the right thing to do. When we game force, when we first look at this hand, we are planning on bidding 2 clubs and then supporting spades later. But we got an extra piece of information. Partner showed a 4 card heart suit. And here's the rule. If we have a 4-4 fit and a 5-3 fit, we always want to play in the 4-4 fit if possible because it plays better. We actually get more pitches on the 5-3 side suit than playing in the 4-4 fit. So hearts is our better fit. The better bid here is 3 hearts initially. You don't want to jump the game because again, you have another one of those double fits. And while this might look like a minimum, your minor suit cards are very strong. And if you have a good double fit here, you might make more tricks than you think. So give partner the chance to do something else. Just bid 3 hearts. You're in a game force. We don't have to rush. For those of you that bid spades, again, you were right on the same wavelength, right? Showing support for spades. But you might not have known that a 4-4 fit is much better than a 5-3 fit. I'll give you guys a chance to chat any questions you might have. We've only gotten 6 hands in, and we already have quite a bit of stuff that is, a little bit, maybe not necessarily new, but a little bit interesting. So let me give you guys about a minute to think up any questions you might have. If you don't have any, don't worry. We'll just continue the next hand in just under a minute. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions just yet. So I will take that as you guys are very confident. So we'll start with another question. This time our partner opened a spade, and it's your call now. 1 spade passed to you. Yeah, Margaret, 4-4 is better. Even in a balanced hand, your hand is balanced, but we know on that last auction that partner's hand isn't, right? Because they've shown 9 cards and 2 suits. So even though you might be balanced, if partner's unbalanced and you have major suit fits, you want to steer it there for sure. And no matter what, if you know you have a 4-4 fit and a 5-3 fit, or you presume that that's what's going on, you always want to play in the 4-4 fit. It plays much, much better. And once again, folks, if you just joined us, you can bid along with us. Just type in bidbox.xyz into any browser you can get to on your phone, tablet, or computer, and you can bid these along with us. And this one, you guys are crushing. And this is the cool part about 2over1. Eventually, you get it in your head that, hey, I can't bid 2over1 if I don't have 13 or more points. Right, so when partner opens a spade, you can just check that immediately. Do I have enough points to gain force? I do not. So I cannot bid 2 diamonds because that would be 13 plus. 13 plus points, right? So we start with 1 no trump. That's all we want to do. And it's the only doorway we can go through. If you guys haven't seen the notes yet, they're right on the 2over1 page. And you can see that in these spots, we certainly do not want to be committing ourselves to a level that we can't afford to be at. So go through the non-forcing door, which is 1 no trump. And after you bid 1 no trump, partner bids 2 clubs and it comes back to you. What's your call with this hand? Partner opened a spade, you bid 1 no trump, and partner bid 2 clubs. I would like to give you guys more time to find anybody that got this wrong, but nobody did. 100%. Good job, guys. Just remember that this is not a good hand, ever. This is always a hand like this. It shows 6 or more cards in whatever suit we're bidding, and it shows at most like a 9 count, right? Or a really bad 10 that you don't want to bid again with. All right, so in these spots, when we go through the forcing no trump, when we're the responder, we bid a no trump, and then we bid any new suit afterwards. It tells partner, you better not bid again, buddy. All right, I want to play diamonds. It's the best spot we can be. All right, so this time you're still the responder here, and partner has opened 1 spade. Your bid. This is interesting. The question that is appearing in the chat is, in what situation would you bid 3 diamonds over 1 spade? And the answer is, I would absolutely have to have a partnership understanding as to what that would mean. A lot of people play Bergen raises, which would keep you away from the 3 diamond bid as a natural bid. But the expert standard, if you're not playing that, is to play those 3 level bids as invitational and natural. I would say, I would say most of the field is probably playing it as something conventional, but if you're going to play it as natural, it would be a better hand than the last one. It would be like 10 or 11 invitational. Yeah, Pam, good question also. After we go through the forcing no trump, and then we bid a new suit, as long as it's a new suit at the lowest level, it is always a sign off. And don't worry, you might get another chance to practice this later. All right, so here, this one, 1 no trump for sure. We have a pretty reasonable hand, but not 13 plus, right? So we start with 1 no trump, and this is why the range of the forcing no trump, when we play 2over1, the forcing no trump range is like 6 to a bad 12, right? A hand that was not good enough to gain force with. And this is the whole basis of this system, is after the first bid, especially over a major suit, we kind of know the general strength of partner's hand, especially if they bid a no trump. We know they've limited their hand, but we could still potentially make game, especially if they're at the higher end of that. So 1 no trump is perfect, and after you do that, partner bids 2 diamonds, and it's your call. we have 4 answers that are all getting some love here. So I'm going to wait a couple more seconds here for the rest of the field to get their answers in. The best answer here, and it might seem a little dicey, but the best answer is 2-no Trump. And I know a lot of you are probably thinking one thing, well, our clubs are so bad. And I agree with you. We are pretty balanced. And remember, partner also rates to have some sort of balanced hand unless they have longer diamonds than we expect. And here the one thing we want to make sure we do is make an invitational bid. So 2-no Trump is an invitational bid, so that keeps it in there. And 3 diamonds is reasonable, except for the fact that I think a lot of you that bid 3 diamonds forgot that partner only shows 3 or more of that suit, right? If they're 5-3-3-2 and they have 3 diamonds, right, they're going to bid their 3-card minor. So we don't necessarily want to commit to diamonds. And here the likelihood of not only clubs being wide open, but also you see the opponents lead that suit and get it right is not huge, right? So here it's okay to bid 2-no because you're just trying to find your best possible spot. And here, remember this number. When partner opens the bidding and you have 11, you're always inviting, right? You're going to invite at least once. And in this case, it looks like no Trump is your best spot. You do not have a fit in spades that you know of, and you don't have a confirmed fit in diamonds, right? So just make the bid that makes the most sense, and 2-no for you. So you can see a lot of you bid 2 hearts. That is our sign off, guys. When you go through the forcing no Trump, and then you bid a new suit, 2 hearts would be, hey, I have a 6-card heart suit. You better not bid. I want to play 2 hearts. That's it, buddy. And the reason that is, guys, I think a lot of you think a new suit is forcing by responder, which it always is unless we have already limited our hand. And the 1-no Trump bid is exactly what that does. It is a limiting bid. It limits our hand to 6-12. So when we've done that, any new suit now is just, hey, I'm bailing out. Bad hand. So I will give full credit to 2-no. I'll give like a good partial credit for 3 diamonds because at least you invited. Let's see, we have a question here. 5-4 distribution in the bid suits. Yeah, so in this case, Zachary, when we play 2-over-1 as game forcing, we have to play some sort of bid that's a catch-all, and that's what 1-no Trump is. So when partner responds to that, they don't have a choice of passing. So now 2 diamonds isn't necessarily 4 cards. It could be 3 or more. Let's see. Would I bid 2 spades if I had less than 10 points? Yes, very good. You'll see that auction come up when we're the ones opening the bidding in a few minutes. But here, yeah, for sure. If I had a problem with my hand, like only an 8 count, take away the king of hearts. Now over 2 diamonds, I would just bid 2 spades. Okay. I like it. Scary. Yeah. Well, bridge can be a little bit of a scary game, especially when we're making a call that we're not terribly comfortable with. But this is a call I would never be that uncomfortable with, right? I'm flattish. I have good cards in my hand, and partner rates to have, something reasonable. And if they have shortness in clubs and the opponents didn't bid the suit and we're losing 6 clubs, hey, I don't expect to be alone in that problem. All right, next case, partner opens a spade and it's our bid. And folks, if you're watching on August 29th at 8:30 right now and you are not logged into Bidbox, if you type in bidbox.xyz in any browser, you can bid these hands along with us as we continue this class. We're on hand 11 right now. So this is very good so far. Most of you are making the correct bid, which is 1-no Trump. And I'm going to wait till the next problem to discuss this, but as of now, if you bid a no trump, you are correct. And I'll address any question you guys might have after we finish the next slide. So after you bid a no trump, partner bids two diamonds, and now it is your bid once again. So again, partner opened a spade, you bid a no trump. Partner bid two diamonds, and now it is your call. All right, quite a few correct answers and almost an equal number of incorrect answers. But keep them coming, guys. Okay, so this is step 2 of a 2-step process. The first step was the one no trump bid. And take a look at our hand. We have what effectively equates to an 11 count because we not only have a spade fit, we have shortness in clubs that's worth 1 point. Right? You can add a point for that doubleton. So our hand is too good to originally bid two spades. It's also not nearly good enough to game force with. Right? So we're kind of in a no man's land with hands like this. And this is why we need 2 steps to show this hand. We start with one no trump, and this is one of the main reasons why we play the one no trump bid is forcing. We need a way to take 2 steps to describe certain hands. And after partner bids two diamonds, our next call is 3 of the major our partner started with. So the 2 steps we take when we have a good 10 to 12 and 3 card support is we bid a no trump first, and then we bid 3 of our partner's major. Those of you that bid 2 spades, we're on the right track. You bid a no trump first and bid 2 spades, but this is not a fit. 2 spades on this auction by us would just show a bad hand and unlikely a hand that has 3 or more spades. It's usually always 2 card spade support. You're just saying, hey buddy, I prefer spades to diamonds. So those of you that bid 2 spades signed off in spades. Those of you that bid 2 hearts, I knew we would have some of this because it's a very common mistake. Same thing that happened last time. You really are conditioned to show your 4 card majors throughout your entire beginning bridge career. I know this because I've spent a lot of years teaching beginners, and it's great that you're thinking about that. But in this auction, that is that sign off bid. It shows 6 cards in the heart suit and a bad hand. And also, remember the most important thing of this auction. Partner already denied 4 hearts. If your partner had 4 cards in the heart suit, they would have rebid 2 hearts and not 2 diamonds. So you know you don't have a heart fit. Just stick with the spades, bid 3 spades, and see if partner wants to go to game. There's a question in the chat here is why not 3 spades directly as the first bid? And the answer is because that bid shows 4 cards or longer in the spade suit. Right, so 1 spade past 3 spades is a good 10 to a bad 12 and 4 card spade support. Right, so we don't have enough spades to make that bid, so we can't do it. Right, and we start with one no trump, which is forcing for this very good reason, and then we bid 3 of partner's major on the way back. All right, next case, partner opens a spade. Your bid. So we won't spend too much time putting together answers here because you guys are crushing this one. Clearly one no trump. Or we can't raise spades. We only have 2 card support. So we just bid one no trump, 6 to 12 points, and any sort of hand. And after we do this, our partner responds 2 diamonds, and now it's our bid again. And so partner opened a spade, we bid a no trump. Partner now bid two diamonds. And now it's back to us. What are we doing? All right. The only correct bid here is two spades. Those of you that passed, which was probably it was the next most common result, forgot about one key detail, and that is that two diamond bid only guarantees three or more diamonds. And here's the basic guideline here. If you're choosing between potential seven card fits, right? You have a seven card spade fit at least, and you have a seven card diamond fit at least. Always choose the one that has the longer suit on one side. So here, if you play diamonds and it's a 4-3 fit, your longest diamond holding is four cards. However, if you play spades in a 5-2 fit, at least partner has a five card suit. And add to that that's the major suit as well. So it's going to score higher. So if you're playing match points, it's the place you want to be. So anytime you have this holding, four in the minor partner bids after one no trump, and only two in the major, it is right to just go back to two of the major. And for those of you that raise diamonds, interesting, but if you want to play diamonds, if you want to prefer diamonds, the only way to do that is pass. Right? So for those of you that pass, just remember, bid two spades instead next time. Show that two card support rather than risking playing in a minor 4-3 fit. Okay, so this time we actually have the same hand, but the auction is different. Partner opened a spade. We bid one no trump, and partner bid two no trump. Your call. So we were all probably choosing between two bids. And the correct bid is three no trump. And it's because partner just showed 18-19 balanced. Right, so whenever the auction goes 1-1, two no trump. All right, this is just us bidding. One level bid, one level response, two no. That's just always 18-19. And this is the one that looks weird, guys, because it's not a jump. It's so much easier to recognize when it goes something like a club, a heart, two no. Because partner had to jump to two no. But when we respond no trump, it's not a jump anymore. It's just a simple raise, but it's still 18-19. So even though our hand is kind of ugly, we have at least 26 points. So this should be a hand we're playing game in. So good job. 84% got that one right. Very cool. All right, next case, partner opens a heart, and this is our hand. And this is how we test how into the class you are. If you're super into the class, you made the incorrect bid on this hand, which is one no trump, because you didn't just think about what your normal bid would be in this spot. Right? You have 6 to 9 points, and if you're playing what we call constructive raises, this is still a good constructive raise. This is about an 8 count. But we always bid 2 hearts. Right? Just the simple raise, 3 card heart support. We do not bid one no trump forcing because we have no reason to, right? We get to show our fit and our range of values right away. So those of you that bid a no trump were super into class tonight because that's what we've been covering most of the auctions. But here, this is certainly not a no trump bid. This is just a simple raise to 2 hearts. So don't forget normal bridge in most of these spots, right? Stay on the same page. All right, here we go. 1 heart, pass to you. Once again, we've had some really good questions tonight in the chat. So if anything bothers you, or if you have any questions that you want me to clarify, fire it into the chat and I will answer them as they get there. And anyone that's watching and wants to bid with us, just type in bidbox.xyz into your browser and you will be bidding along with us as long as it's August 29th. If it says replay, you can't bid. All right, very cool. We have two very good choices, and they both might be right depending on what your agreements are with your partner. So I'm going to give you the best bid and the only bid you would make if you play Jacoby 2 no trump. I know a lot of you do, and that's why this question is here. This is our forcing major suit raise. So when partner opens a major, the bid of 2 no trump shows 13 or more points and 4 cards or longer in the major suit that partner opened. So it's essentially like 2over1, except it's even better because not only does it show a game forcing hand, it guarantees a 9 card major suit fit. And it also comes with some conventional help after the bid. So for those of you that play Jacoby 2 no trump with your partners, that was the only correct bid with this hand. For those of you that don't play it, we do start with 2 diamonds, right? So in this case, if you do not play Jacoby 2 no trump, if you've never heard of it, 2 diamonds is right for now, right? But I encourage you to learn the convention because it's very helpful. So here, 2 diamonds is certainly game forcing and would start us off on the right path. So there is a blow up in the chat. I like this. So 3 spades was another call people were making. Now, not to get too far down this rabbit hole, but 3 spades would be a what's called a splinter bid. And that would also show 4 card or longer support in hearts, but it would include spade shortness in that description. So 3 spades would show a singleton spade or less. And the issue with that is you're too strong for the splinter bid. A splinter bid is supposed to be around an opening hand, very not much more than that, counting all of your points, including your shortness. Here I have a much better hand than that. I have a hand that probably equates to about 17 or 18 with all of the things I'm counting. My 5 card diamond suit, my spade shortness, the fact that I have 4 hearts. So here I would only ever bid Jacoby 2 no trump if I had the choice. Let me just take a moment here. And the hand that had 8 points in heart support. I can't remember the exact hand, but yeah, pretty much you're always bidding 2 hearts when you have 6 to 9 points, right? Even like a bad flat 10, you're going to bid 2 hearts as well. But on this one, guys, splinter bids are only exactly opening hands, and Jacoby 2 no trump is what we want to do with our better hands. But again, if you don't play Jacoby 2 no and you play 2over1, you get a partial win because you still get to game force, and then of course you'll support hearts later. All right. Next hand. That was an interesting one. This time partner opens a heart and it is your call. 1 heart to you. All right, so we have most of us nailing this here with just the two diamond bid, but this has some interesting other choices, and I want to just show you guys what those were. For no Trump, I actually, I don't hate the bid of for no Trump, except why rush off to a slam, which you're probably likely to try for anyway. But when you're just jumping to 4 Trump, you're missing out on a lot of opportunity to discuss not only partner shape, but to try to play maybe even higher than just a normal slam. The other bids, Jacoby 2 Trump here would be bad because that always shows 4 card or longer support, right? So we can't do that. We only have 3 hearts. So we just start with 2 diamonds, game forcing. We're going to support hearts later for sure. And when we do bid 2 diamonds, our partner now bids 3 clubs. Your bid again. So once again, partner opened a heart. We bid 2 diamonds. They bid 3 clubs. Okay. This is a hand that is meant for the 2/1 system. Right? We have extra values for sure. And now that we play 2/1 as game forcing, we have no fear that partner's going to pass what we do next. So we just bid 3 hearts. Very important that we show a partner that we have support. For those of you that bid 3 diamonds, you made a semi-descriptive bid. You did show 6 cards in the diamond suit, but you've also denied 3 hearts at this point by doing that, right? So direct your partnership to the right contract, right? Get them into the heart suit, and then we'll see what happens next. And after you bid 3 hearts, your partner now bids 4 clubs, and it's your call. And we'll talk all about what 4 clubs might be in a second, but those of you that have an idea, I want you to make your next bid with this hand. We have 10 answers in already, actually 13 now, and 0 correct answers by my standing here. Which, oh, there is 1 correct answer so far. And this is why we do this, guys. Don't worry. In any of these lessons, if you're watching it now or if you're playing along later, if you're getting all of these wrong, that's not necessarily the worst thing, right? And this is where you want to get your practice in, right? You're going to get a ton of decisions in these classes, way more than you are in traditional classes. So this is your time to make mistakes. And my bid here would be for no Trump. So let's talk about the auction as it exists, first of all. So we're going to spend a little bit of time here. After our 3 heart bid, our partnership knew 2 things. They knew that we're going to game, and they knew that we had a heart fit. So any bid of a new suit after this moment is what's called a control bid. So the 4 club bid wasn't, hey, I have more clubs. It was, hey, I hear you, we have a heart fit. I want to play higher than game and hearts possibly. And I want to show you that I have first round control of clubs. That's the way we should play it at the beginning. For those more experienced partnerships, you would probably play first or second round control of clubs. But in either of these situations, the one thing you have to understand that this bid shows is extra values, meaning partner doesn't just have a garden variety opening hand, and the desire to explore slam and hearts. So 4 no Trump by us is better than the answer that 70% of you gave, which was 4 diamonds. Now, 4 diamonds is not technically incorrect because it would also show control in diamonds and also show the desire to play higher than slam. But think about who you want to be key carding on this particular deal. Which one of you has more information than the other? And the answer should be pretty clear. It's you. Right? You're the one with ace king queen sixth of diamonds and ace king third of hearts. Right? So it should surprise you that partner's looking for slam because I mean, you have lots of good cards in your hand. So the fact that they bid four clubs means that they have something really good that they're looking at, some really good shape or otherwise. And the other thing that should be clear, but it might not be for a lot of us, is partner also denied a control and a suit, and that suit was spades. So, how did I get there? And the answer is when I bid three hearts, partner had a three spade bid available, which would also be a control bid. The fact that they went past that and bid four clubs means, hey, I don't have control in spades, but I have control in clubs, and I'm interested in playing higher. So here, the only thing we really are going to want to know about are, hey, I think we're pretty sure partner has the ace of clubs, but we'll check for that. And we also want to get to find out if partner has the queen of hearts, which I would expect them to have on this auction. But anyway, 4-0 Trump is the one that's going to give us the best of all information. And remember, when you have something unknown to partner, something good that they can't see, you're the one that usually wants to be key carding. So with ace king queen sixth of diamonds, you would bid 4-0 Trump. And this is newcomer. We had a question here, which was how do you decide which side is better to bid for no? And the answer is kind of exactly what I just said. If you have something that partner's never going to be able to find out about that's really good for your side, you certainly want to be the one exploring, right? Because think about it, his keycard responses are going to be much more helpful for you than yours are for him because he's never going to place you with ace king queen six the diamonds. And the other answer here, the question was, what if you play first or second round controls? Honestly, if partner is willing to make a control bid while I'm holding this hand, let's just take a second. And this is something you should always do during auctions that are strong. Think about partner's potential cards. They have at most the jack of diamonds, and they have at most the queen jack of hearts. So that's 4 points. And they just showed a lot of extra values by bidding four clubs. So what does their hand look like? And here I would guess they have very strong clubs and probably some spade cards, but not a control in spades, right? So it seems weird that they would be control bidding, but I would guess this might have something to do with diamond shortness as well, which is still good for our hand. So here, when you have more information, you want to be the one that bids for no Trump. Sorry to spend so much time on that, guys, but it's a very interesting hand, and you guys asked some really good questions there. But I'll leave it into the chat. If you guys have any more questions before I move on, just pop something in there. And if not, I'll jump on to the next question. Okay. All right, just a quick poll for you guys. On this auction, we opened a diamond. It went pass. We were the dealer, so we opened a diamond, pass, two clubs by our partner, two spades by the East. And the only question I have for you is this a game forcing auction for us now? Are we in a game forcing auction? All right, so about 70% of you are saying yes, and that means 70% of you are correct. This is absolutely still a game forcing auction, and this is supposed to be confusing for two reasons. The first reason is it started one diamond past two clubs. And a lot of you might be wondering, hey, is that still game forcing? The answer should be absolutely yes. If you're playing 2/1 as game forcing, just honestly for ease of use, you still want every 2/1 sequence to be game forcing. So here, one diamond past two clubs makes sense for it to be game forcing. Some people, and I would say this is an old school treatment, agree to play everything's 2/1 except for this auction. And I've always been confused by that because it doesn't seem to make a ton of sense to do it that way. And the other part of confusion here is now this became a competitive auction, but the competition occurred after North made their game forcing bid. So here, this is still a game forcing auction. And as in our seat, depending on our hand, we could absolutely pass and still understand that partner has to bid because we are in a game forcing auction. If I change this auction slightly, and I should have had a slide for this, but I think I skipped it. If I open a diamond and West, my left hand opponent, bids a spade, and now partner bids two clubs, that's not a game forcing auction, right? Because the interference occurred before the 2/1 bid, right? So make sure you understand that. If the interference is after we already game forced, then guess what? We're still game forced. But if it's before the 2/1 bid, it's not a game forcing auction any longer. All right, next case. Now we've jumped over to the other side of the table. So in this auction, we were the dealer. You can see the star under our name, which is you. And we started with a heart, and partner bid one no trump. Now it's back to us. And once again, for all these questions, we've all agreed to play 2/1 game forcing, right? So if you're not familiar with this, just understand that we've absolutely agreed that we are playing 2/1 as game forcing, so we are also playing the forcing no trump bid. And for those of you that might have just jumped in, you can join us on bidbox.xyz. And if you're confused over 2/1, if you jumped in and you're not sure what we're talking about, if you had to learn bridge.nyc and just scroll down to the second section, you'll see that there are replays of the last two live lessons I gave, which are a pretty reasonable explanation of how we play 2/1 game forcing. And I will also make sure that a replay of this is added directly below that, so you guys will have a good three classes to look at. Or if you have friends out there that want to learn 2/1, just have them log on and check that out. Totally free stuff. All right, so everyone or almost everyone is getting this right, and this is two clubs. As weird as it might have seemed a couple weeks ago, this now is looks like becoming pretty normal for you guys here. The key part of the auction we have to make sure we understand is that we can't pass one no trump, right? So for those of you that passed, you might not have seen the one no trump forcing bid before this, but here, because we play 2/1, we're pretty much forced to bid with almost all of our hands. And here, that's why we're allowed to bid a three card minor suit. Think about our other options. We could rebid two hearts, but that would absolutely 100% of the time show six cards in the heart suit. So we can't do that. Some of you might have been thinking about two no, but that's 18-19, right? So here, this hand is a problem hand, but it's been solved by our agreements here. If we play one no forcing, we know we are absolutely allowed to bid a three card minor. 92% of you. Good job. All right, so after you bid two clubs, partner bids two hearts, and it's back to you. What are we doing with this hand now? You opened a heart, partner bid the forcing no trump, you bid two clubs, and partner now bid two hearts. Your bid. Okay, so this is a very confusing spot if you're not familiar with playing this sort of this sort of agreement. We always pass here. And the confusing part of this is a lot of you that haven't seen this a lot see the two heart bid and think you just found a fit, which is the most common mistake. Everyone confuses this auction with, hey, partner has support for hearts, when in reality, it is very unlikely that partner has more than two hearts. And the only time they might have three is if they have just a disgustingly bad hand with three card support. Right? They kind of went through this route to show this. So the only right bet is pass, and you hope you make it, right? Most of the time. I know tonight we're going to see, and we've already seen some hands where we have fits when we bid one no trump. We're almost never going to have that, right? We're rarely going to have a hand that we have a fit and go through the forcing no trump. So the majority of the time that we see these auctions that start with the forcing no trump, we're going to try to feel our way around to where we think it's best to sign off at, right? Either partner suit or our own suit. And that's what's happening here, right? We gave partner two choices and they said, hey, I prefer hearts to clubs, so let's play it there. Those of you that bid three hearts, you would be showing a hand with a lot of extra shape and extra values by doing that. It would be some sort of like six hearts and four club hand with like 16 or 17 points. So remember, when partner's trying to sign off and we bid again, we're showing extra stuff. So here, just passing is enough, and we'll try to eke out eight tricks and two hearts. Okay, so this time I gave us a few more bids to start with. We opened a heart. Our partner bid a no trump, and we bid two clubs. And now partner bid two diamonds, and it's back to us. All right, so we opened a heart. Partner bid a no trump. We bid two clubs, and there's a very good reason we had to bid clubs there. And partner bid two diamonds, and it came back to us. So what do we do now? And it looks like this is a tougher question. The answers are coming in a little more deliberately here, so I'm going to give it a couple more seconds. And this is something we've seen earlier, but we saw it from the other side of the table. Now, when we're on this side, it's a little harder to pick off. But that two diamond bid by partner was a sign off. They bid a no trump, and then they bid a new suit of their own afterwards. So when we see this, partner saying, hey, buddy, I want to play two diamonds, and that is all she wrote. So most of you got it right. 65% of you passed. 19% of you, five of you bid 2 no, which seems like it's right. And that's the problem with bridge is usually the most logical decision is the right one. But when we talk about system, especially a newer type system, sometimes it's not, it's the bid that makes the most sense is completely wrong, unfortunately. And that is the torture of bridge. I'm sorry, you picked a really hard game, but that's good. Your mind is going to be better off for it in the long run. You just have to get through these rough patches. So here, 2 no would be kind of ugly, especially if partner's diamond suit isn't that good. And partner told us, hey, you told me what you have, and I'm telling you, for us, we're playing diamonds. One of you bid two spades. I was thinking more of you might choose to do that. Again, partner cannot have four spades. They bid a no trump over one heart. If they had four spades, they would have bid one spade. And again, getting back to it, that bid is a sign off, and that's what that means. We're just playing two diamonds. All right, so here, as ugly as it seems, the only correct bid is pass. All right, next case. And so this time we opened a spade, and our partner made the forcing no trump bid, and it's your call. So we were the opening bidder, we were the dealer. We opened a spade, and partner bid one no trump. Your bid. Ha, Barath, you have a very good a good bid here. Two spades in that auction would be the impossible spade. I don't want to get into that too much, but it is a very cool way to show support for the minor suit. I'm definitely not going to go too far down that rabbit hole, but yes, if you want to read more about that, I would just Google the impossible spade and you'll see what it is. Ah, Bob, no worries. Welcome to the club. That's the cool thing about these classes. If you're late, doesn't matter. You can still jump in and join us. You can always watch afterwards as well. All right, about 10, sorry, I think 11 questions left after this one. So we should finish right about 9:30. So if you guys are watching now and you want to get in on the action, if you're not logged into Bidbox, just type bidbox.xyz into any browser and you'll be able to log in and make the next 11 choices with us. All right, so this is a kind of a tricky one because if you're just looking at shape, you'll bid two clubs. But if, like a real bridge player, you counted your points and you see what you have in your hand, you'll bid two no. Two no trump is 18-19 balanced. And again, I don't want you to worry about that diamond suit. You're trying to describe your hand the best way possible. And two no trump is really the best bid for that. Don't worry about stoppers. This isn't necessarily a destination. And even if it does end up being a spot where you're playing three now, partner has to be wide open in diamonds and the opponents have to figure that out for them to be successful usually. So do not worry. This is just you describing 18-19 balanced. Very good. All right, so this time you opened a spade and partner bid a no trump again. And it's your call. Bob, the hand previously had 18 points in it, so no. Opening a no trump with that hand would show 15 to 17 balanced. We're way too good for that, right? So we open the major and then we rebid two now. Good question. But this time we opened a spade and partner bid one now. And just a general discussion for that question, Bob. It's okay occasionally to shade up to bid a no trump. And the example would be, let's say I have 14 points balanced with like ace, king, 10, 9, fifth of diamonds. I'm going to open a no trump frequently with that because I'm going to equate it to 15. It is never right to shade down to bid a no trump. Let's say you have like some sort of balanced 18 and you want to bid a no trump. Just don't do it, right? Your hand is too good. Or let's say you have that last hand. Not only did you have 18, but you had a five card suit. Way too good, right? So we don't want to miss games by shading down, right? We shade up sometimes, but never down. And this one, we have even more deliberation. I think a lot of you are thinking about what the right bid would be here. Don't worry, no one can tell it's you. So if you give a wrong answer, no one can ever know, not even me. I just see the numbers. This is why this is much better than a real bridge class because I can't tell you how many years I taught classes and I would ask a question just like this and I would get two answers and 30 people nodding their head, oh yeah, that's right. When really I would say 60% of the nodders were like, man, how did I come up with that bit? Right? This time you get a private response and no shame in this. Not that there should be anyway. Okay, so this is always three hearts. And this, in fact, is the only time the opening bidder can make a game forcing rebid, right? So in this case, the three heart bid not only shows a big hand, but it's game forcing. And this usually shows some sort of hand that can force the game opposite only 6 points from partner. So around 19 plus. This is technically 18 high card points, but the shape is massive, right? You have two very reasonable. We have one excellent five card suit and one decent five card suit, and a void, right? So in order to make sure we get to game, we have to jump shift, and that's what we just did with 3 hearts. Those of you that bid 2 hearts, you might survive if partner bids again. But the problem is, if they decide to pass, you're now playing 2 hearts when you're probably going to make way too many tricks. 2 no trump, 18-19 balanced. We're definitely not balanced. So here, just open your 1 spade and jump shift into 3 hearts. And now we'll play game and hopefully hearts or maybe even spades. Who knows? Okay, so this time we opened a spade and partner bid 2 clubs, and it's our bid again. So we open 1 spade, partner bid 2 clubs. And for those of you that were in class last week, I think the lag is much better this week. I made a couple of changes, so I'm happy to see that the slides are coming up still quicker in Bidbox, but not too much of a delay when it pops up on YouTube as well. All right, so the one thing I will tell you for those of you that might not have popped in a bid yet is when we're responding to a 2/1 bid, right? We've opened the bidding, partners game forced with a 2/1 bid. The only thing we're thinking about with our rebid is the shape of our hand, right? That's the only thing we should be thinking about, the bid that shows our shape the best to our partner. We already know we're going to game, so we don't have to worry about dialing in our range of values yet. So 2 no trump is the right bid. Hey partner, I have a balanced hand. This does not show 18-19, and I have that in caps for you on the description here. This does not show 18-19 because it didn't start 1-1. It's 1-2. So when we see a game forcing bid, there are no more, hey, that shows 18-19 because we're already in a game forcing auction. This 2 no trump bid just shows a 5-3-3-2 hand and any number of points. So after 2 no, our partner now bids 3 spades. Your bid. We open 1 spade, partner bid 2 clubs. We bid 2 no, and partner bid 3 spades. Three answers are leading the voting, almost all equally chosen, which means 66% of you are wrong so far. But that's good. This is the place to be wrong. I'm going to give it about 10 or 15 more seconds because the correct answer has been chosen more often, but more incorrect answers have been chosen total. So let's give it a couple more seconds here. Give everybody a chance. And the correct bid is 4 hearts. Now this is something we did see earlier, but from the other side of the table. This is a control bid. And once again, let me just refresh your memory on when we can make these bids. The times where we're making control bids are the times where we both know we're in a game forcing auction. So we're either at the game level or we've made a game forcing bid prior. And that's what we did with two clubs here in the North chair. And when we have an agreed upon suit to play, when we've agreed on a fit. And we just did that. The North player did that by bidding three spades. The one thing we haven't shown our partner is our extra values. And remember, our partner knows or showed us that they have enough to play games, so 13 or more points, and we have a spade fit, right? So our hand is huge, right? But it's not perfect. For no trump, for those of you that bid that, you might get very lucky and see partner show two aces or key cards and you'll be fine. And to be honest, for no trump is probably not going to be terrible for you, especially for those times where partner shows two aces. However, we have three small, not three small. We have queen third and two small, two of our minor suits. So here we should be very worried about that. And for these hands, I'll tell you what an expert would be doing. Right? An expert would be constructing a hand for partner. That isn't good for us. Basically, we want to look for the worst case scenario. So let's just do a simple construction of a hand. Here I would be saying, okay, would partner game force with, let's say, king, queen, jack, third of hearts, king, third of diamonds, or how about king, small of diamonds, and king, jack, 10, fifth of clubs, or king, jack, fifth of clubs, and three spades? And the answer is that would be 13 points, which would mean they would game force and then support spades later. So if they have that hand, we have no chance of making slam because we're missing two aces, right? In fact, we may even go down at the 5 level if they're getting a ruff of some kind or if we get some sort of bad spade break. So if I can construct a hand that's bad for us, I don't necessarily want to be jumping off and bombing 4-0 here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show my control instead. I'm going to bid 4 hearts. I would be surprised if partner didn't continue with anything extra at all. But even if they don't continue, we might still want to make a try for it afterwards. But here, I'm going to be the one that shows extra values and shows a control. And if partner doesn't have the ace of either minor suits, guess what they'll do? They'll sign off. Right, for those of you that bid 4 spades, that's the mistake that's going to cost the most. Because if you bid 4 spades, it's very unlikely partner will continue with any hand. And now we might have just missed a slam. So here, the middle ground is usually quite good. The middle ground being, hey, I don't want to jump to 4-0 trump. I certainly don't want to sign off. So what I can do is, if I have a game forcing auction and an agreed upon fit, I'm just going to make my control bid and see what partner does next. And think about the description you just made, guys. You've not only shown a control in hearts, you've denied control in clubs and diamonds because you went past both of those bids to get to 4 hearts. So you get to make a very descriptive bid while still showing extra values. So there is a question in the chat. Some play rebidding spades. 2 spades does not show 6 spades in 2/1. Very, very, very good question. So Mark, here's the deal. When we play 2/1, there are 2 ways we can play it. We can play that the rebid of the major suit always shows 6. That is the best way to play it, especially when you're first starting to play 2/1. If you play the different version where the rebid of 2 of the major covers all of your minimum hands, you're changing a lot of the system and you're also making it just a little bit more complicated. So for now, guys, I would always recommend that you play the rebid of the suit shows 6. It's going to make your life way less complicated. Right? If you're playing it the other way, you're going to have a little more difficulty and you want a little bit more judgment to be playing it that way. Okay, so sorry to be so long-winded, but that was a very good conversation to have, especially if you're not familiar with kind of finding different ways to bid slams. Control bids can really split the difference. So we have another problem hand for you here. We've opened 1 heart and our partner bid 1 no trump forcing. What's your call with this hand? So once again, we were the dealer and opened a heart, and partner responded with the forcing no trump. What do we do? And we're neck and neck with two choices. And this is a special circumstance when we play one no trump forcing. The good thing about these special circumstances is two things. Most of the time, we're going to see a lot of people getting this question wrong. And the second thing is these don't come up too often. So even if you get it wrong here, you might never get it wrong again. But even if you do, it's unlikely it's going to come up too often to matter that much. But it's nice to know what's right. And what's right with this hand is to bid two clubs. This hand always gets two answers most often, and you can see that when I pop the results up here. You see 48% of you are getting it right by bidding two clubs, but almost as many are bidding two spades. And we have to understand why two spades is wrong. Two spades is a reverse. When you open one of a suit, a partner responds something, and then you bid two of a higher ranking suit next, which here would be two spades. We're showing a good 17 or more points, and we're not close to that, right? Two spades would always show extra values, 17 or more, and this bid would absolutely be forcing for at least one more round. It's one of the other forcing bids we can make as the opening bidder. So if you recognize that, you came to a second problem. Well, if I can't bid two spades, I really can't bid anything. I should pass, but you can't do that because this is the forcing no trump. So remember, we're allowed to bid a three card minor in response to the forcing no trump. So with this hand, all of you that haven't seen this before in bid two clubs did a great job of kind of making a bad bid, right? Sometimes we're forced to lie. And here we're already lying a little bit when we bid two clubs anyway. Rather than show a six card heart suit, and rather than reversing, which would be the worst mistake we could make, two spades would be absolutely the worst choice because we'd be showing way extra values. We should just bid two clubs. Two clubs is just going to say, partner, I have some clubs. I have at least three, but here technically I only have two, but I'm in a really weird spot. And that's going to happen during some auctions. We're just going to be in spots where we don't have a good bid. Make the least offensive lie. Let's see. There's a question here. I would value my hand as 16 points. So I would never value this even close to that, considering I have an unprotected honor in the minor suit, right? So this would not come close to a two spade bid because I certainly, especially if partner wants to sign off, I don't want to force them to the three level to do that. And secondly, I know partner can't have four spades, right? So I don't buy a spot where I'm going to be able to play spades in a successful manner because I know we have at most a seven card spade fit. So here the only correct choice would be two clubs. All right, next case. Here we have the same hand we just bid, except after two clubs, partner jumped to three hearts. What do we do now? And if you're just joining us and want to bid, we have, I think, five hands left. You guys have done a really good job tonight. We've gotten through 30 hands so far. About five left. If you want to join us, just type in bidbox.xyz in your browser, and you will be able to bid the last five hands with us. So notice we had to make a bad choice initially by betting two clubs, but it didn't really matter that much. Partner looks like they were always going to be doing this because they've shown a specific type of hand. The question is, what do we respond to this three heart bid? And if you are on YouTube, don't make your bid in the chat, right? If you want to bid with us, you're just going to jump into BidBox. So type in bidbox.xyz in a separate browser or even on a separate device like your phone or tablet, and you'll be able to make your choice in the app itself. So do not bid in the chat because you might give people either the wrong bid or the right bid. All right, so those of you that bid four hearts are right on it. Partner showed a limit raise with three card support. Right? They went through the forcing no trump, and then when we bid two clubs, they jumped to three hearts, which is saying, "Hey, partner, I want to invite you to game in hearts, and I have three card support." Usually around a good 10 to a bad 12 for this bid. And here we have a maximum. We have 14 high card points, but again, we're devaluing the jack of diamonds. But we have two doubletons, which we can now add to our values, right? The reason we couldn't add our doubletons to our value before is because we had not discovered a fit yet. But now that partner has shown us the fit in hearts, we can add those shortness points to our hand. We have more than enough to bid our game. All right, next case. This time we opened a heart and partner bid two clubs, and notice we have the exact same hand we had before, except the auction's a little different. This time we opened a heart and partner bid two clubs. What are we doing with our hand here? It's the same hand, but different response initially. The hand before, our partner had responded one no trump, which kind of restricted what we could rebid. This time our partner has made the game forcing bid of two clubs, which means in this case, if you remember what I said about responding to 2/1, just think shape. Think shape all the time. Even though partner doesn't rate to have four spades here, doesn't matter. We're going to show our shape the best way we possibly can. And the best bid we can use to do that is two spades. Hey partner, I have five hearts and four spades. The reason this hand is in here, especially right after the last one, is to show you the difference in rules based upon what partner responds. When partner responded to no trump, we could never have rebid two spades because that would be a reverse showing 17 plus points. But when partner game forces, I'm no longer showing values here. Our partner already knows I have an opening hand, and more importantly, we both know we're going to game. So here I'm just going to show my four card spade suit. I haven't shown any extra values at all. I've just shown five hearts and four spades, and I've given partner a better picture of what my hand looks like. All right, next case. This time we opened a spade and partner responded with, once again, the forcing no trump. What do we do? And sorry we're going a little over. I guess I was a little long-winded, but you guys asked some amazing questions tonight, and I think we got through a lot here. You guys, if your brains are burning, just chat something into the chat here and let me know. I apologize, but you'll wake up refreshed tomorrow and full of knowledge. So once again, one spade, one no trump forcing, which means we can't pass. I'm glad no one has passed yet. And massive percentage of you are nailing this. This is two diamonds. Right? Because we are forced to bid, we have to do something, and we are allowed to bid a three-card minor suit with holdings just like this. Right? So in this case, we can't pass. We have nothing else to show. We don't want to show a six-card spade suit by rebidding spades. So we bid our three-card minor. We bid two diamonds. And after that, our partner bids three clubs. Your bid. So we opened a spade, partner bid a no trump. We bid two diamonds, and they have now bid three clubs. Your bid. Thanks, Bob. I was going to say if everybody got this one right, I was going to offer a prize, but quite predictably, we have some wrong answers, which is normal. It's tough when you don't see this very often. The thing we had to recognize to get this answer right was that partner's three club bid was a sign off. Oh, remember this. This is, I think, the fourth one we've seen, two from each side of the table. When our partner bids the forcing no trump and then subsequently bids a new suit, right, a suit that has not been bid by either of us, it is a sign off which says, partner, you better pass. I want to play three clubs. This one looks different and it's harder to recognize because it's actually at a higher level than the previous few have been at. It's at the three level. So it looks strongish, maybe, right? Because, hey, partner bid a no trump and now they're bidding at the three level, but they didn't jump and they've seen us bid two suits and now have, after limiting their hand, proceeded to the lowest level of a new suit. So three clubs is probably, hey, I have a six card or longer club suit and 6 to 9-ish type points. So those of you that bid three no, it's going to be ugly, especially if they find out to lead a heart. Right, so we're not going to do well with 12 opposite six or seven, even no matter how many clubs our partner has. New minor forcing was a question that came up in the chat. New minor forcing is only going to exist in spots where the opener has rebid no trump. Right, that's not happening here. We opened a spade, partner bid a no trump. Right, so new minor forcing will only exist after opening bidder has rebid no trump on some level. But I'm super happy to see that almost three-quarters of you got this right. It's hard to pass, but when we know partner knows what they're doing, signing off, where you just trust them and make our pass and hope they can make three clubs. All right, two more. This one might be super easy, but we're going to do it anyway. We opened a spade and partner bid a no trump. Your call. I'm not going to offer up the same prize for everyone getting this right. It's too easy. I hold you guys to a much higher standard. And we can dispense with any more bids if we want. Everybody's got this right. This is in there mainly for the next two, but I just want to start with a simple question. When we have six of our major, we just rebid it. We're not worried about it. Unless we maybe have a second four-card suit, but here we have no other bid to make. We certainly don't bid a three-card minor when we can rebid a six-card major. All right, next one. This time our hand has improved a little bit, but same auction. We opened a spade and partner bid one no trump. What's your bid? And after you make your bid with this hand, I know we have people from all over the world usually, but I'm interested. I know we have some from Vancouver and LA. If you're from a place far away from New York City, just type in where you're watching this from in the chat. I always get a kick out of this. Toronto. Love that city. Very good. Lots of people from Toronto. Minnesota. Nancy, I don't know if you know the Grews, but Joe Grew is a very good friend of mine. He's a Minnesota bridge legend, even though he lives in New York now. BC, love that. Arizona. Syracuse, New York. Rolla. That's my hometown. My father owned a bridge club in Syracuse, New York for many years. That's where I learned how to play bridge. So it's very happy to see people from my hometown. Lots of Floridas, very cool. All right, let's jump into the answer here. The answer is three spades. So this is the next step up essentially. The rebid of two of our major is going to show six cards and like 12 to 15 points. The rebid of three is going to be the same hand, six or more spades, and 16 to 18 points. So here we just jump and rebid our suit, another strong hand. And the last but not least, we opened a spade and partner bids a no trump, and this is our hand. Very nice, Rilla. Very cool. So thank you all for joining from all over the place. I hope for my West Coasters this time is okay. I try to get it as close to like quitting time on the West Coast and try to finish it before bedtime on the East Coast for most people. Yeah, for all of the Floridians watching this, I am sending all of my thoughts to you. I hope that you weather this storm, no pun intended, safe and your homes are actually okay after this. It's obviously a scary situation. Thoughts out to all of you. All right, this is predictable. We have two answers garnering the most votes, and the wrong answer is currently ahead, but it's very, very close. And this will end up being a rule for us. Nice. The west coast of Florida is gonna be a safer spot, I guess. All right, last chance to excel, guys. Get those answers in there. I'm gonna release the answer in about 5 or 10 seconds. And that was a good one to see come in. It averaged out to half of you getting it right and half of you getting it wrong. So this will end up being a rule, and that's why we're ending on this one. It's a special spot. When we have six of our major, it's usually right to rebid our major, except in spots where we have four in another suit. And even when you have four of a minor and six of a major, here's what I say to my students. If I am 6-4 in a major and a minor, I'll almost always just rebid the major first to show six, even though there are a lot of expert players who will always bid the four card suit. But this is the one I want you to remember. When you have six spades and four hearts, no matter what you think about rebidding a four card suit, always rebid your hearts. All right, so I'm okay with six of the spade suit and like four clubs to rebid two spades. I'm okay with that. But when you have six of the spade suit and four of the heart suit, always rebid your hearts first, no matter what. All right, because you're just more likely to actually find a heart fit, even when you have six spades, because partner's less likely to have a spade fit here. Even with two, and if they have four hearts, we saw a simple example of this earlier, we're just going to be better off in hearts anyway, right? So in these cases, when you have six spades and four hearts, you just always rebid your hearts. Just make that a rule going forward. All right, guys, that is all I have for this evening. Thank you so much for joining once again. I don't have any other classes scheduled in the near term, but I'll get on that as soon as I can. I'm trying to get most of my local stuff scheduled out this weekend. So when I have an opportunity to do this again, I will let you all know. And thanks for watching. Bob, these videos are always posted immediately on YouTube afterwards, and it'll probably take me either this evening or this afternoon to kind of get it posted to my site. But you can go to learnbridge.nyc or right to this YouTube channel to find everything you could possibly need, I think. So it'll be up very shortly. And for those of you who have friends who couldn't join us, they can rewatch this and just let them know that this is going on. I hope to make this a big event. So I appreciate you guys for all joining and supporting this. And I will see you next time, guys. Take care. And for those of you in Florida,